In today's video, you'll be watching me do my nails. I am not a professional nail artist, so please do not come for me. Just give me some advice or like any tips and tricks that you have. And yeah, as you watch me give my little story time. I'm self-taught. I started doing my nails in like 2017. I felt like acrylic was too hard. Sidebar, it wasn't really hard. It was just extra work, and the dip powder seemed really easy. Like, I always went to a nail salon and got my nails dipped, so I felt like that was just something that I could do. So instead of challenging myself, I just decided to do dip powder. I did powders for a couple years. I went away for school, and when I went to like 3 different nail salons, they all botched my nails, and I wasn't in the state that I wasn't in New York, so I didn't really have a car at the time either, so it was really hard for me to like go out of school and get my nails done and like find a place that I liked, because I would get my nails done and then have a bad set for like a week because I was like, damn, this is really bad, and just sit there like not liking my nails. And if you're a girl, you know what that feels like. It kind of sucks. But I wasn't taking them off because like, what? I just spent my money on that. Anyways, so I felt hopeless. I just decided to take up on how to learn how to do my own nails. And crazy how something that I attempted years ago is like, now I'm here doing a beauty page, and I could like kind of show you guys what I've learned over the years. Like, it's pretty cool. Anyways, now don't get me wrong, I still went to get my nails done at the nail salon periodically, like when I came back to New York, like during the summer and during holidays. I would go see my lash tech in Queens, Brooklyn, but that was pretty much it. I did bite my nails, and I still do. I'm like slowly getting off of that habit, but I've come a long way. I always hated going to some nail salons too, because they always just like file the shit out of my nails, and it was like, girl, why you gotta file my nails so much? But I understand at the same time, because it does help, like, basically the nail glue or the acrylic stick to your nail better, because it has more of a like, it's just a better surface to stick on, versus like our natural nails has natural oils and all these other things that prevent it from like attaching well. So when you file it down, it really does help that attachment. As you can see, I'm adding like a bonder right now because I saw some videos and it was like, that definitely helps when you're doing your nails. I learned a lot, and I'm still learning. Like, I think doing my nails is a great like side hobby, and it takes time, and you start to appreciate your nail techs, because like, hello, you start to realize what it actually takes to do with a killer set, you know. I'm gonna do a little round of applause for my nails, because honestly, if you knew me when I was young, the fact that I even have this much now is a pretty cool thing, you know. But anyways, back to the story. Since I started this YouTube journey, I learned consistency is key, and staying focused is easier said than done. You know that, if you don't know that saying, it's just saying that sometimes it's easier to say things and tell people, hey, you should do this, do that, but it's hard to apply it. Anyways, even though these are lessons I already knew, when you see it in the results in your daily life, things start to like actualize. I started this page as a creative outlet for like my beauty needs and my lash needs, because I do lashes. And as the page started to grow, I realized beauty is such a broad topic, and I didn't want to tie myself down to like only lash content, as there are many moving parts to beauty. You know, you have hair, you have nails, you have lashes, makeup, brows. Like, there's just so much stuff that you can do when it comes to like beauty. So the more you practice like a sport or a hobby, the more you realize what aspects you're good at and what you need to work on. You may not be good at that aspect in particular, but you still have the desire to grow, which is like how I feel about YouTube. Like, I think YouTube is pretty cool. Like, I think it will be like the next television in the next 10, 20 years, only because who really has cable anymore? And if you have cable, I ain't saying nothing about that, but the point is like, times is changing, period. Side note, can we just look at how that laid beautifully? doing nails, I'm realizing, like, it's like anything else in life. It's a process. You live and you learn, like, about the things that you like and the things, how you like your nails. Like, there's so many different ways people do nails. Like, people do thick nails, thin nails. Like, there's a Russian, like, the way Russians do nails is a completely different way than how, like, Chinese people do nails. There's just so many different styles to beauty. I'm realizing, like, every culture, everybody has, but that's like the saying that they say, that beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, because what you may think is beautiful, someone else may not think is beautiful. And that's okay. Like, that doesn't matter. If you feel good, that's all that freaking matters. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't let anyone ever tell you, like, what you like isn't it. Like, you like what you like, and that's it. If you're feeling confident when you walk out your door, then girl, you're killing it. Okay? So, I recently traveled to Europe and found myself, like, really just understanding so many aspects of life. Like, traveling really does, like, open up your horizons. Like, it's not only about going out there and, like, seeing pretty stuff in the beach. Like, you really learn about yourself when you're not home, or you're in a completely different in a new place, I felt so many things were, like, clicking in my life. You ever go through something or hear something and, like, you don't process it right away until, like, days or even years to hours later, and you be like, wow, like, this is all full circle right now. Like, when I was talking to this person, I was doing that, or blah 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 blah, things start to, like, come together. Well, when I was in Europe, I felt like I had a little bit of that moment in my life, like, where things started to click for me, and I was just seeing things, and I was like,
wow,
honestly, it's really me versus me out here. Like, I realized I literally put myself in all the situations in life, like, at least as an adult. Because adulting will make you realize a lot, like, how much toilet paper you actually do use when you're the one buying it, if you know what I mean. It sounds silly, but it's real. Like, as I traveled to a place that I'd never been, many things about myself were revealed. I'm not afraid to ask for questions or get a no, which I love about myself. And I realize a lot of us live in our heads. So I try not to spend too much time in my head. Sometimes I speak more than I should, or I try to stay too long in my mind. So recently I've been practicing, like, just staying present and understanding that we're all working through things in life, like, just the basics. And it doesn't matter where you are in the world, like, everyone is pretty much still trying to live and get the basic stuff in life, which is, like, food, water, shelter, clothes, sleep, happiness, but for everyone that's different, you know what I mean? I would say water, but, like, some people don't even be drinking as much water as they should, if you know what I mean. But I want to learn how to be, like, understanding in life, because when you understand people, like, you don't judge people, and, like, I'm not ever trying to make anyone feel judged. Like, I want people to know that I understand why they do certain things, but to understand, you have to be, like, open to that, if that makes sense. And what's happening or what's not happening in someone's life, like, it doesn't really matter, because it's like we're all trying to figure it out. No one's situation or no one's struggle is worse than this person or better than that person. Like, sometimes I feel like people think rich people don't go through things, and I'm pretty sure they do. They just have money, so it's different. It's weird, because sometimes you know people and you think you know what they're going through, but in reality, you don't. You don't know what someone's going through, Relationships are a two-way street, I always say. Do not expect to receive when you haven't been putting out anything into the world. And I don't mean, like, physically, but I also mean emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Like, prayer is real. The universe is real. What you put out into the world is what you will receive, if you know what I mean. And if you don't, then you're going to figure it out, because that's your life. That's your word. That's you. You choose what you want to choose, and you choose what you want to focus on. But we'll talk about that later. The way you look at a situation is not the only way it's viewed. And this is something that I've been kind of starting to understand this. Like, just because you see a situation the way it is, it's like many people are able to interpret it in different ways. I think that's why art is so like cool and indescribable, because a group of people can be looking at the same art piece and interpret it in many ways, more than one. You know, it's like our minds all go to different places when seeing one piece of art. Technically, there's like an infinite amount of outcomes and income, like not income, but like outcomes in life. Then I was like watching the multiverse on the plane, and like I am a Marvel's fan, so like just gonna talk about this real quick. Technically, like, it's real, you know what I mean? Like, what you do and every kind of decision that you make kind of does impact and take your life into a different direction. But I'm still trying to understand, like, do I believe in destiny, or do I believe in like every decision I make can kind of change the course of my life? But that's a whole nother conversation. Anyway, just remembering really that you and me, like, we're the captain of our own ship. Like, when you're a child, obviously, like, you're brought up in your household with certain beliefs and ideologies. Like, your parents kind of tell you what to do and stuff. But in reality, once you get older, you're able to really look at that and, like, you start to create your own opinions on life, you know? And I think that's really important, getting to that point in life where you work on the things you choose to work on and nothing else. Whatever you water will grow, okay? Remember that. Even weeds. That also includes good habits and bad habits. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know biting my nails is a bad habit, which I've been, like, really making an effort towards, like, cutting that out of my life completely. And I've been doing so well. Like, do you see how much nail I have in these videos? Like, to me, that's a win. To you, it may not be, but that's okay, because it's not about you. It's about me and what I'm trying to figure out over here, you know? But the point is, like, you also have to pat yourself on the back for little wins, because sometimes we forget that. Like, we think we're going to be able to just get to the bigger picture in our lives, but in reality, it's the baby steps, those small milestones in our life that really lead up to the big things in life. And I just want you guys to know that. Moving forward, like, as an adult, I want to make sure that I'm, like, seeing myself and not being blended to my own habits. And if you understand what I'm saying, then hallelujah. Let me get a like button. Anyways, good and bad. As I traveled, I feel like so many things were sparking in my brain. It was like neurons in my brain was making connections it never made before. And I had things that I've experienced and heard, and, like, it was just a really weird time. They have been connecting, like, just everything was coming together, and I started to understand a lot. I'm also getting older, I feel like, so that just comes naturally with age. But I'm from New York City, a city that never sleeps. For example, like, when I used to hear that, I always brought it back to the idea, like, 42nd Street and how the lights literally never sleep and the city is always going. As I'm getting older, these things are becoming deeper than I thought. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. And I can say, I really don't care if you don't. Because, you know, you start to understand. And it's not that I don't care, but, like, I realize in life, you know, you start to create your own opinions and you start to believe them. And I'm just trying to understand myself and, like, the way that my mind works. And I realize I left the city for college, and, like, I never really understood what it was to, like, be in the suburbs, a relaxed, peaceful place, and you just feel different. You feel more at peace, and I guess I never really understood why, and it's pretty freaking obvious, right? Like, you're in the city, cars are moving fast, people are walking fast, the noise, the honking, like, we're at a time where definitely it's, like, it's just a different time, like, physically and also internally. Like, seeing life move so fast sometimes made me feel like I should speed up most of the time. In different places of the world, the quality of life is different and the pace is felt. Like, I have big goals and I wouldn't change them for the world, because they are what I want and what I want to achieve in life. But realizing we are working towards something, it doesn't all have to be the same, and as long as we're working towards something, that's all that matters. Some people might get to their goals sooner than others, and you should never let that deter you or discourage you from your goal. right? Because, like, sometimes you see people, and I think that's also social media. Like, you see people doing all these crazy things, and you're like, well, damn, like, I've been working up to it, but it's like, we're all on our own path, girl. We are all gonna get to where we want to get. Like, I'm gonna get to where I want to get, where I want to be. All I have to do is keep putting in my work, keep focusing on myself, and I'm gonna get there. And I realize, I think that's why so many people are affected by social media, because they almost get, like, infatuated with the idea that they're not where they want to be. But it's like, social media also doesn't show you what it takes to get there, and, like, what it really takes to get there. So it's kind of just an interesting place to be. I heard something, and it was like, if you have yet to receive what you want, you aren't ready. And that really resonated with me. I'm like, why did that resonate with me? But sometimes we think we know what we want, but when you really start to, like, narrow it down, it almost starts to seem like, oh my God, what is it that I want? Like, can you really sit there and envision the beautiful luxury house that you want for, like, and I'm talking about not just envisioning a house, but envisioning everything, you walking into it. What does your door look like? What do the finishes of your house look like? Like, I recently started practicing, like, writing down everything that I want, like, certain finishes, like, really helping me visualize what I want in my life. And it's definitely has helped me realize, like, I just need to keep working on the things that I want, because we all want different things, and we all measure success differently in life. And, yeah. Back to the nails for a second. Like, I realized shaping is such a big thing for doing nails. Like, you really have to learn how to shape your nails and how you want them, because shaping is everything. Like, you will notice it when you lay down your nail polish. That's why I think gel is so cool, because gel just lays differently than regular nail polish. I don't have any gels, but I want to get some gels so that I could practice, like, applying them and whatnot. But I learned so much in the past years, like, just also shaping my nails, doing my nails, and how I like them done, because obviously, like, I'm kind of picky when it comes to, like, the shape of my nails and how thick I want them. You can see right here, I'm, like, kind of just shaving it down so it could be a little bit thinner in the ends. And this is a thing called an apex, and it's supposed to be a little bit, like, higher when you do your nails, so you can avoid, like, lifting and all these other things. But yeah, I think naturally when we start something, like, we always just want to be great at it, right? Like, but then reality brings you right back, and it's like, hey, wait a minute, practice makes perfect, baby. Like, you're not gonna be able to just do something the first time and, like, knock it out the park. And maybe you can, you know what I mean? But the point is, like, there's always room for growth, period. So, like, in this video, I know, like, I did a good job, but I know that I can do better. Like, it's just a matter of me practicing and continuing to work on that. I think that's why I like when you can, like, I guess I always tell people, like, record your progress, even if you're not posting it, but, like, it's for yourself, because sometimes we forget that, like, there is progress in something that you're doing and working on. Like, you are going to be a little bit better than the last time you did it or practiced it or whatever it is. Practice really does make perfect. And I don't know, I see it as an effective way to measure your success, you know, like being able to see how you've done and what you've done in a certain amount of time. So practice, you start to realize, oh wait, this didn't work, let me try this or that, and this may not be as effective, so let me do this. And by the third time, you will observe something different, and you realize, you know, a lot can happen when you keep going at it. And I think that kind of happened with this YouTube channel. I was posting, like, once a week in the beginning of the year, and I saw a little growth, but I was like, I'm gonna stay consistent to an extent. I told myself to enjoy this process, because it will happen. And if you don't enjoy the process, then what's the point? You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I started to feel like I started trying different things, and not by much, like changing a couple words and, like, playing with different videos, and it was just a lot. And I was just watching videos on how to grow and the channel and, like, what are different things that people are doing. And I'm still learning and I'm still growing, and that's obvious. Like I said, you never really stop growing because things are constantly evolving as we do. So I think that's why YouTube also rewards consistency, like posting once a week or once a month on a certain day or a certain time. Because why? It's one of the hardest things to keep up with. Growth on YouTube is like growth in real life. It is not easy, but needs to be done weekly, if you know what I mean. You don't want to sit there and you want to grow and you want to get to your goals, but it's if you're not working on them constantly, and I don't mean constantly every day, every minute, but to some schedule, to some extent, if you're not working on something, how do you really expect to grow? So you should definitely measure your success, because that's what I've been trying to do. And that's what everything in my life. I've recently been using Google Calendar more because I'm trying to see where's a time that I have free and I don't have free, so I can better do everything else that I'm doing, which I think is great. That's how I'm working on that, And I'm going to make sure that I use the word I more, because I'm really just talking from my own experiences in life, nothing less. I cannot speak for anyone else. In life, it's really you versus you, and I'm going to say that a lot because I realize, I'm my worst critic, but I'm also my biggest fan, okay? Hello, I love myself, but I'm also the person who, when you lie to yourself, you lie to yourself. No one even knows when you're lying to yourself, because it's you know what you want to do in life, and if you're not going to do it, ain't nobody can really tell you that. I think that's why sometimes we go on social media and we say certain things so that people can also hold us accountable for the things that we say we want to do or are going to do. But in reality, only I am going to be able to get myself out of a rut, and only you are going to be able to get yourself out of a rut. No one can really push you to get yourself. Yeah, people can motivate you, take you out and do other stuff, but you have to proactively choose to be better and want to be better. That's everything is a process. This is how I know I'm just getting older, because I used to think everything happened overnight. If you want something, you do it and you get the results and boom, you're done. But in reality, life doesn't work that way. You have to take your time, and things are going to happen slowly, but if you keep working at it, it will happen. And yeah, as you can see, my nails was looking toed up, but now look at them, cute, okay, and short, because I work, you feel me, and I don't have time for long nails, but I might do some long nails soon, not really sure, but anyways, they look so cute, and I appreciate you guys listening to my story time. I added some pictures of when I did my nails with the tip powder, just so you guys can see.